I won't lie, Atlanta is one of the greatest forms of media I've ever watched in my life. I don't even know where to begin. The writing is stellar. The cinematography is always on point, helping to paint a vivid story per frame. Never before have I, as a black guy, man I guess, since I'm like 19, related so much to a character like I have with Earn. I could go on for hours praising the show, and until this year, so many people were on board with me. So what went wrong? It's like my entire community is in shambles over this art form of pure excellence. Some defending this later season to its last erection, dick riding on levels not even Young Boy fans have dared to cross. Others tearing it apart, ripping their jaws as they prepare to drop massive loads of shit all over Donnie Boy's face. Still, I'ma keep it real with you. Atlanta, in my opinion, hasn't fallen off at all. In fact, with the later season added, I feel like the entire concept of the show has greatly expanded compared to the before. The work of the third season can't ever take away what the first two seasons were or even stood for. I feel like Atlanta is an almost honest reflection of the black community. Of course I'm saying almost since it's mainly told through the black male gaze. You know what? Let me explain. Season 1 mainly followed the adventures of Ernest Marks and Alfred, two cousins from Atlanta trying to make their way up in the rap game. Al's doing this because that's what's often expected of us black guys. It seems that entertainment, whether that be through rapping, sports, acting, or even YouTubing, is what American society expects from us. So we do it. On the contrary, Earn is financially struggled through a string of poor made decisions from the past, stemming from unknown reasons. After learning about his cousin's come up, Al seems like the perfect opportunity for Earn to make it out of his situation. Vanessa and Darius, Van being Earn's baby mama and Darius being Al's best friend, are other main characters who seem to be tied into the story through Earn and Al's involvement with the plot. So from there, each and every episode is carefully crafted with heavy surrealistic settings and situations, light but heavy-hitting social commentary, and a sprinkle of humor to top it all off. Furthermore, each episode of the first two seasons perfectly makes sure to follow the four main characters, while ensuring they face some type of internal mental growth. So much to the point where every scene, line, camera angle chosen is essential in progressing the story forward. Notice what I said before though. Each episode usually focuses on the four main characters in order to get a message across. What made season 3 so polarizing compared to the other seasons was exactly that. Out of 10 episodes, the main characters were only truly present in 6. Personally, I was glued to the screen for each and every alternative episode, but that's mainly because I enjoy the writing of Atlanta, and I'm always eager to hear and digest what the show is trying to tell us. But if you've only watched Atlanta for the experiences of the four main characters, then it'll make sense why you'd be put off by season 3. And at the end of the day, that was the main issue with a lot of the viewers. They just wanted the main cast back. For those arguing about a change in the show's writing, I heavily disagree. Hell, if season 3 only had episodes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10 in them, it'd still feel like a regular episode of Atlanta, just in fucking Europe. And because the setting is different, the people as well as the outcomes faced there would also change. This is because Atlanta is a show that also relied on its setting to paint a more than half of the portrait. This would only prove how good the show's writing is. Now, in a different location, the viewers can feel the cultural shift and dynamics change as well. And while episodes 1, 4, 7, and 9 may have felt too preachy for some people, I'd argue this is only due to the main characters being swapped out for new faces, thus allowing us to realize Atlanta in its truest form without any main plot episodic distraction capturing most of your attention. If you ask me, episode 9 is in my top 5 Atlanta episodes of all time. I just can't get enough of it. It has the right amount of humor, perfect cinema style, strong message, and mastered pacing told through a different and often overlooked lens. Speaking of overlooked lens, there's one more thing I wanted to discuss about: the black female representation. A lot of black women have been complaining about how they're represented in the show. A lot of them are upset by the negative stereotypes they're portrayed as well as their often overlooked role in helping the main cast move forward. And I guess it's an even bigger sting when the only black girl lead, as shown by Van, barely has any African American roots in her. Bitches like fucking German or raised in Germany or some shit. A lot of black women have also pointed this to Donald apparently not liking black women. Anyways, ladies, I hear you. I guess I can try and get it. It's actually why I'm adding the word almost to this vid's title. I somewhat agree, actually. There could be more done to flesh out black women in the show, heavily centered around the black community. Although I won't lie, the black girl in the scene was really preaching. And ever since I saw this episode all those years ago, it's really allowed me to be able to rethink about black women, especially their situation in America. I've really come to empathize with them. But notice something. Earlier, I stated that Atlanta is told mainly through the lens of a black male. I feel that's exactly where this issue stems from. I'm not trying to downplay the role black women have in holding our community together. We should all know by now that they're the glue. When most of our fathers walk out on us for any given reason, black women are the ones raising us. But oftentimes, as black men, our issues aren't even with other black women. It's at ourselves, other black men, and the system put in place to strip us of who we are. Hell, for every 100 black women, there's only 88 black men. Either being murdered or in jail is often the end goal for us black guys. So at least to me, it often makes sense why we have this fuck the world self-centered type of attitude. It isn't right though, and as men, we need to understand that this greatly impacts our women and future children in our own community. We can even see how shows like Atlanta and Insecure greatly differed when compared to each other. It's even funnier when you compare Issa Rae and Donald Glover, two black millennials whose gender greatly impact their lives they've lived, as well as the experiences they gain and how they tell their own stories. Their perception of the way things are bleed into the work, and whether you're a black man or a black woman, you can often relate based on who's telling the story. Honestly though, I would love to see more black women step forward and continue to share their experiences through media and artwork. We could really use more of you guys. So yeah, Atlanta's fucking amazing, and you should definitely watch it. Season 4 is coming out in 11 days, and I'm ready. Feel free to share whatever you want in the comments below. Free speech, baby! And of course, free consequences.